Tell you what, not a great week for hero shooters. This game's dead. Another one's dead.
Yeah, let's talk about that one that's dead. So, Push Square writes, don't expect Diablo 4 or Overwatch 2 to launch this year. During its latest earnings call, Activision confirmed that neither Diablo 4 nor Overwatch 2 will launch this year. The two titles were originally announced back at BlizzCon 2019 and have been completely missing in action ever since, and 2021 doesn't appear to be the right time for them either. That doesn't rule out more information and footage being shown from the pair at some point over the next 11 months, but as far as release date goes, it's not happening this year. It's worth noting that BlizzCon is a couple weeks, whatever it is.
February 19th and 20th.
There you go.
Jeez.
So
you can get your digital tickets if you want to buy a ticket, even though it's a free event, at the Battle.net store.
And maybe they talk about it there, but going by the earnings
it's
call,
it's already confirmed that I'm guessing
they'll show another cool cinematic.
They will, and I'm excited for that cool cinematic because those cinematics are amazing. No, I feel like they need to get ahead of themselves and get ahead of the ball a little bit here, even though this phone call has kind of pulled the rug out from under them. Because up until this point, I think for the majority of Overwatch content creators and Overwatch fans, it had all but been confirmed that it was going to be next year for Overwatch 2. Whether that be because of the effects of coronavirus or rumors of stuff that they've had to scrap and restart, or there was also rumors of the voice actors not even coming in to do voiceover for all the story missions and stuff yet, apparently.
Just recutting stuff from the first game.
Well, no, because it's probably, there's like story missions and stuff. Apparently.
After he hops up, it's just high noon. That's it.
Honestly,
That's the only thing he says.
The biggest problem, I guess, is that now Jeff Kaplan is going to have to come out on stage at BlizzCon and try and not save face, but save Overwatch a little bit in terms of, we already knew that the last character release was Echo, who was.
This is what I was going to bring up: the lack of content.
Yeah. Yes, the lack of content was.
Overwatch is a dead game, right?
Well, no, not at all.
Yeah,
no,
it's not being supported.
No. It is though. They balance patch it quite regularly, but it's a case of they had very openly been like, "Hey, Echo's going to be the last character for Overwatch 1. When Overwatch 2 comes out, we're going to release it with 4 or 5 new characters all at once." And we'd seen one of them, and there was a new game mode for Overwatch 2. I feel like they do have to bring at least one of those characters forward this year.
Can they though? Can they just move a character?
No, but they have to. They have to because Overwatch 2 isn't... Well, the original goal for Overwatch 2 was Overwatch 2 was going to be able to be played side by side with Overwatch 1. That you could still play... Apparently, the belief was going to be that Overwatch 1 was going to go free to play, and you can play Overwatch 1, and that is in the same integrated community as Overwatch 2 is. Overwatch 2 just has updated graphics and everything with it, and the story missions and stuff like that. So... that would, in theory, then, that would mean that they'd have to have set up the characters to be able to run in the original Overwatch game. And they desperately need to at least release 1 or 2 of those in the coming year, because Overwatch is going to suffer without that kind of content. I think that kind of content brings characters back. And even though they do have their regular events and everything and their skins, they do regularly bring people back. But this is just.
Do you think one character released in 2021 would be enough to keep people happy?
Echo was interesting enough last year for that to be the case, even though Baptiste was not too far before that. I think they could pull it off with 1. If that's 1 with the promise of there's 4 or 5, and they also are aiming for early 2021. Then I think that will be okay, especially with balance patches and changes, or if they are going to make changes
2022.
It's not. Oh, yeah, sorry, 2022. It's 2021 this year. If they are going to release it early 2022, I think Overwatch can be. There's enough they can do with Overwatch. Overwatch League helps a lot, and also the same thing was like, honestly, they were never going to release Overwatch 2 prior to either the end of an Overwatch League season or after the beginning of a season, because it would be really dumb for your esport to either randomly change versions of the game mid-season or to have a different version of the game out in the public but then playing an old version for your esport would be a really bad decision either way.
I'm gonna put a bug in your soup and say that this doesn't come out until mid to late 2022, and not early.
I think they're like Blizzard's super fucked if that's the case. like honestly, that's going to be super hard for them. Unless, you know what, Jeff Kaplan could come out at BlizzCon and be like, "Hey guys, we've restructured our content plan for the next 12 to 18 months.
We've scrapped Overwatch 2. All that content's now Overwatch 1. Overwatch 2 will now come out in 2038.
No. They're not going to do that. It's just going to be a case of, let's come out, we're going to either try and remove the new game mode into the game, or we're going to have a competitive reset, or we're going to do something major to the characters and the meta in Overwatch 1, or we're going to start bringing characters forward and releasing characters into Overwatch 1 to kind of continue to further inject new playability. Because I think Echo did a really good job, and Echo's character design's super interesting. Their main problem the main problem they're facing, and I'm not going to take up too much more time talking about Overwatch, even though I probably could.
I brought it in the show notes, so
yeah, no, that's okay. Even though, the problem that they're currently having with Overwatch is that their new characters are so interestingly designed and so dynamic in their designs, it makes the old characters look and play like shit. Like, it's just like in the meta of the game, it's really hard to play your Reinhardts and your Winstons in general because their kit is just really outdated.
Well,
so when a lot of people think that in Overwatch 2 they were going to start updating those characters as well and giving them new abilities or changing them enough to have new abilities to make them feel that way, it's where they kind of are caught in this weird space where if they do decide, fuck it, we're going to start releasing new characters again, it's going to just continue making that divide feel more and more between the characters, and definitely with who's being picked in terms of the Overwatch meta. And
to a degree, I just feel like Blizzard's whole problem is making the game not free to play. Like, the fact it feels so out of it. Overwatch just feels so weird to be. It's like the only game that you have to, like, they sell as a product, like it's a full priced game
of that genre,
of that genre, like, which makes it just seem so weird when every other thing, popular game
that they're still at the same time they're still continuing in terms of the like at the minute. I think we only had a sale like at the start of the year with Overwatch being like 75% off. I think it's 50% off again now currently. So they're still trying to get what money they can for the game, but I think it eventually is going free to play. It'd be kind of weird if they announce at BlizzCon it's going to be free to play while they're still trying to sell it currently for 50% off. But at the same time, I think Overwatch will need to put systems in place for competitive integrity to make sure there aren't people making 1 billion Smurf accounts or
cute.
Well, I only have a couple and I don't use them as Smurfs.
They don't care.
They're practice
They don't care
accounts.
as long as they're paying $70 for each account.
No, but that's what I'm saying for free to play. If they're gonna go free to play,
okay.
This is what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm. That's why I understand if they don't care currently.
See all my Apex Smurfs.
Yeah, where it's gonna be. Yeah. But yeah, I think Overwatch is in a weird spot. It's been in a weird spot for a while. I think Blizzard definitely need to find a way to get in front of the 8-ball at BlizzCon to try and make up for it and try and help out a lot with the community stuff.
There's your woes. Let's talk about my woes. So, if you've been patiently waiting news for Bayonetta 3...
We're also not going to talk about Diablo? Are we not shocked?
I'm not
Especially
shocked.
seeing as they said
at
Visceral
Diablo.
Visions came on to help.
I'm so not shocked. I was ready to.
Team 1 got cancelled, right? That was the
thing.
That whole game.
No, but Vicarious Visions only came on to do Diablo 2, though.
Yeah, but all the rumors for Diablo 4 was they pretty much scrapped it like a year ago. Like what they had, so.
The thing is, right, is that I'm guessing bringing in Vicarious Visions, Diablo 2 remaster is going to be easy for them to fucking churn out. So that's going to buy them time for Diablo 4 to take another year or two longer.
Diablo 4
that's
is
why it's
2+ years away. There's my...
Yeah, it's going to be a fair while away.
There's my opinion.
They should just bring out like another mobile game or something, though.
Yeah, well, can't wait to hear about that on a couple weeks' time.